Hi everyone, it's Andrew from AntRC, and in this wee video we're going to have a little look at one of the features of my Jeep Comanche Highway Patrol thing. We're going to have a look at the tarp in the back. This homemade tarpaulin thrown casually in the back, serving a purpose. The casual viewer won't notice, but it's covering up the shock towers which protrude through the hard body. I didn't put a sort of horizontal suspension unit in this truck. It's just standard shocks, and they stick through. So I'd have some way of covering it, and this is what I did. So as I built it, as I made it, I did a couple of little videos. So let's roll those videos and step back in time and see how this came about. Right, so how do we do this pretend tarpaulin that's going to sit over here in the back of the pickup truck where the shock towers have been cut through? I'm going to make some papier-mâché using some wood glue, some watered down wood glue, and some tissue. I think I'm going to try and use this blue paper towel first, although I'm not sure about the dots and things. You see the texture on it, I'm not sure how that's going to work. I'll try some toilet paper. I've got various different tissues that I can try. Basically, I'm going to soak it and I'm going to lay it over here, and when it dries it will be hard like a shell, and then you take the cling film off and the shell comes with it, and then you can paint it and then glue it back on properly. Without the cling film, the whole thing would stick to the bed of the truck and I'd be a mess. So there you go, let's see how it goes. Okay, so the blue paper didn't really work out so good because it was a bit, the texture was a bit weird looking with the dots on it. The consistency of the paper is good, but the texture on it embossed in was not so good. So I'm using a white tissue now, which I have soaked in the diluted wood glue solution, and I'm going to just pop it on the top here so that we can try and mold it into shape. And the cling film is there to stop it sticking to the bed and to stop mess generally going everywhere. So it's just going to be a tarpaulin that's been just kind of dumped on the back, so it doesn't need to be too symmetrical, but I do need it to cover the shock towers without doing so too obviously either. Okay, so now I'll put the killer body box back in, and we can just to ensure that this papier-mâché isn't going to be in the wrong place. So I'm just going to contour it so it fits in with the contours of the wheel wells and so on, because obviously it's going to dry hard overnight. Certainly the wood glue will go off and it should dry into this kind of contour. So that's that. Some watered down wood glue, PVA wood glue. It's quite thin, and but this is just your average kind of travel tissue type thing, but quite thick. Trial and error. We'll see how it goes. Okay, welcome back. Here we have the dried papier-mâché canvas sheeting, still on the cling film, which is going to cover the shock tower. So I'm going to take this off the cling film. Try and do it one-handed. Should be fine. It is now off the cling film, and as you can see, it's crispy. It's a little bit like a prawn cracker, I suppose, and it should be pretty well molded to the back of the truck. I can remember where I placed it, where I had it. Now the beauty is, of course, I can always wet it. You see, if it doesn't quite lie as I would like it, I can always wet it down again, and it will just relax and soak in and sort of adhere a bit more to the curves of the truck. So it's a little bit shy down there, but it's got a little bit of a kick up on there, which I quite like. Kick up on there. Yeah, it just needs to be a little bit a little bit relaxed, maybe just hit those curves. It's better on the back side. That's okay. The metal box is going to sit in there. That's the hole for the wires. Out the lights are going to be up here. Yeah, pretty good. So that's going to rest there for a good, overnight certainly, maybe 24 hours. And it should just let the wood glue reharden and be a bit better fit. Right, so there you go. There's the painted version. A little close up. As you can see, this corner sits much better on the wheel arch than it did before. I didn't do a video of it being painted because it's a bit dull, but I can tell you I did paint it off the truck. I sprayed it, I believe. It was a little while ago now. I sprayed it with a rattle can, and then I think it's just acrylic, nothing fancy. Sort of khaki or a green it might have been, and then I've weathered it by staining it with some watercolour. There's my watercolours there. I'm in the process of staining the MC8 seats with some watercolour black and brown mix. That'll get washed off, or most of it will get washed off, and what stays behind effectively is the stain. So that's what I've done with this. I've also put some highlights on the raised edges, because the canvases especially do tend to lose their colour quite a lot, and it gives it a nice 3D wrinkled effect. And then I lacquered it with the rest of the truck so that it was sealed in. I didn't want it really absorbing water and this kind of thing. So yeah, there you go. Nice and easy. Very cheap, as I say. It's a tissue. I mean, yeah, a bit of wood glue. Which you can buy from any kind of hobby store, that kind of stuff. Go for it. Get stuck in. Don't make your mixture too thick. Don't water the wood glue down, but not too much, and otherwise it'll never go hard. Too little, diluting, and the whole thing gets too sticky and firm and messy, and you can't handle it. So you'll find the right balance. But then you just leave it to dry. Piece of cake. Crack on then. What are you waiting for? Bye for now.